Alaska, the last frontier, a land of towering mountains, untamed wilderness, and jaw-dropping natural beauty. But for all its breathtaking views and rugged charm, there's a growing question that people across the country are starting to ask. Why does almost nobody want to live here? With harsh winters, extreme isolation, and limited access to everyday conveniences, Alaska can be as unforgiving as it is majestic. In today's video, we're diving into the real reasons why America's largest state is also one of its most sparsely populated, and why, for many, the dream of Alaskan life quickly becomes a cold reality. From sky-high costs to brutal weather and everything in between, stick around as we break down the top reasons why nobody wants to live in Alaska. Number 10. The lifestyle isn't for everyone. Living in Alaska requires a unique mindset and lifestyle that isn't suited for everyone. The combination of harsh weather, geographic isolation, and limited conveniences demands resilience, self-reliance, and a strong love for the outdoors. Residents often need to be prepared for long periods of solitude, tough living conditions, and a slower pace of life, where modern amenities and social opportunities can be scarce. This lifestyle attracts adventurous, outdoorsy people, but can feel overwhelming or isolating for those used to more urban environments and easy access to services. Additionally, the mental and emotional challenges of adapting to Alaska's extreme conditions can be daunting. The long, dark winters combined with physical isolation can lead to feelings of loneliness, depression, and cabin fever. Social connections may be harder to maintain, and newcomers often find it difficult to adjust to the slower rhythms and rugged demands of daily life. For many, the allure of Alaska's beauty is outweighed by these lifestyle challenges, leading to a high turnover of residents and a reputation as a place where only the toughest thrive. Number 9. Lack of entertainment and amenities. One of the less talked about challenges of living in Alaska is the limited availability of entertainment and amenities, especially outside of the major cities. Unlike more urbanized states, many Alaskan towns and villages have few options for dining, shopping, nightlife, or cultural events. Movie theaters, concert venues, and restaurants can be scarce or located hours away, making social outings and leisure activities difficult to enjoy regularly. For residents who are used to a bustling city life with diverse entertainment options, this scarcity can feel isolating and dull. Even in larger cities like Anchorage, while there are cultural events and some nightlife, the options pale in comparison to metropolitan areas in the lower 48 states. Seasonal darkness during the long winters can also limit outdoor activities, further reducing entertainment opportunities. Additionally, the remote location means that traveling to concerts, theaters, or sporting events often requires costly and time-consuming trips out of state. This lack of variety and accessibility to amenities is a significant drawback for many, especially younger residents and families seeking an active social life. Number 8. Wildlife and safety concerns. Living in Alaska means sharing your environment with some of the most impressive and potentially dangerous wildlife in the world. From grizzly bears and moose, to wolves and even mountain lions, encounters with wildlife are a regular part of life, especially in rural and suburban areas. While these animals are awe-inspiring and a key part of Alaska's natural beauty, they also pose serious safety risks. Residents must take constant precautions, such as securing food properly, carrying bear spray, and remaining vigilant during outdoor activities to avoid potentially deadly encounters. In addition to wildlife, Alaska's natural hazards extend to extreme weather and rugged terrain, which can be dangerous without proper preparation and knowledge. Avalanches, icy roads, and sudden storms are common and require residents to be well prepared and cautious at all times. The remote nature of many communities also means that emergency services may be delayed, so self-sufficiency and awareness are crucial. This constant presence of danger and the need for vigilance contribute to the perception that living in Alaska is not for the faint-hearted. Number 7. Education limitations. Education in Alaska faces unique challenges, particularly in the state's many remote and rural communities. While urban areas like Anchorage and Fairbanks have access to a range of public and private schools, smaller towns often struggle with limited resources. Schools in remote locations may have fewer teachers, outdated facilities, and limited access to advanced coursework or extracurricular activities. For families living outside of the larger cities, providing children with a comprehensive and well-rounded education can be difficult, often requiring long commutes or even boarding arrangements for higher education. Furthermore, Alaska's vast distances and sparse population make recruiting and retaining qualified teachers a persistent problem. Many educators are reluctant to move to isolated areas due to the demanding living conditions, lack of amenities, and professional isolation. This shortage results in larger class sizes, fewer specialized programs, and limited support services, which can impact student achievement and opportunities. As a result, some families may choose to relocate to states with more robust educational systems, contributing to the population decline in these remote parts of Alaska. Number 6. Transportation challenges. Transportation in Alaska is unlike anywhere else in the United States due to the state's enormous size, rugged terrain, and extreme weather conditions. Many towns and villages are not connected by road, meaning residents often rely on small planes, boats, snowmobiles, or even dog sleds to get around, especially during the harsh winter months. The lack of an extensive road network makes travel between communities time-consuming, expensive, and sometimes unreliable. Seasonal changes can also shut down certain routes, isolating entire areas during storms or extreme cold. Additionally, traveling to and from Alaska itself can be challenging. Flights to the lower 48 states are often costly and limited in availability, making trips off the state expensive and infrequent for many residents. Winter weather further complicates transportation with snowstorms and icy conditions causing delays or cancellations. For daily commutes within cities like Anchorage or Fairbanks, heavy snowfall and icy roads require constant maintenance and cautious driving. These transportation hurdles add a layer of difficulty to everyday life and can discourage people from wanting to settle permanently in Alaska. Number 5. Limited access to healthcare. Healthcare access in Alaska presents a significant challenge due to the state's vast size and remote communities. While urban centers like Anchorage and Fairbanks have well-equipped hospitals and specialized medical services, many rural areas lack even basic healthcare facilities. Residents in remote villages often have to rely on small clinics staffed by nurse practitioners or physician assistants, with specialists in advanced care only available hundreds of miles away. In emergencies, patients may require costly and sometimes delayed airlifts to larger hospitals, making timely treatment difficult and stressful for families. The scarcity of healthcare providers further compounds the problem. Alaska struggles with shortages of doctors, nurses, and mental health professionals, especially in isolated areas where living conditions can be demanding. This shortage leads to long wait times, limited appointment availability, and fewer preventive care options. For many Alaskans, managing chronic illnesses or accessing routine health care means traveling long distances or enduring significant delays, which can have serious consequences for overall health outcomes. These factors make Alaska's healthcare system one of the most challenging aspects of living in the state. Number 4. High cost of living. Living in Alaska comes with a hefty price tag, largely due to its remote location and the logistical challenges of transporting goods and services. Almost everything, from groceries and fuel to building materials and everyday household items, needs to be shipped in by air, sea, or over rugged terrain. This significantly drives up costs, making Alaska one of the most expensive states to live in. For example, residents often pay 2 to 3 times more for fresh produce and other essentials compared to the lower 48 states. Housing prices are also elevated, with limited supply and high demand pushing rents and home costs beyond what many newcomers expect. The high cost of living impacts nearly every aspect of daily life, placing a strain on families and individuals trying to make ends meet. Utility bills can be steep, especially during the long, harsh winters when heating is a necessity. Additionally, services like healthcare, education, and transportation tend to be more expensive due to the limited availability and the costs of attracting qualified professionals to the state. This economic pressure, combined with relatively stagnant wages in many industries, often leads residents to reassess whether living in Alaska is sustainable, especially for those without substantial financial resources or stable employment. While Alaska is known for its natural resources and unique industries, job opportunities outside these sectors can be surprisingly limited. The economy is heavily dependent on oil, fishing, tourism, and government jobs, which means those looking for careers in technology, finance, healthcare, or other specialized fields may find it difficult to secure stable employment. Seasonal fluctuations in tourism and fishing jobs can also lead to income instability, making it challenging for many residents to plan long-term financially. For young professionals or families seeking diverse career paths and steady work, Alaska's job market can feel restrictive and uncertain. Moreover, the high cost of living combined with limited employment options creates a tough economic environment. Many employers offer lower wages compared to the national average, which doesn't always keep pace with Alaska's elevated prices for housing, food, and transportation. The scarcity of job opportunities can lead to outmigration, especially among younger generations who leave the state in search of better prospects elsewhere. This ongoing trend further strains local economies, making it even harder to attract new businesses and diversify job offerings in the region. Number 2. Isolation. Alaska's vast and rugged landscape means that many communities are incredibly isolated from one another and from the rest of the country. Unlike most states connected by extensive road networks, some towns in Alaska are only reachable by small plane, boat, or snowmobile. This isolation can make daily life challenging, as even basic errands often require long and expensive trips. For residents, it means limited access to goods, services, and social opportunities, which can lead to feelings of loneliness and disconnection from the outside world. The physical remoteness also makes emergencies more complicated, as help might take hours or even days to arrive in the most secluded areas. This geographic isolation also affects access to essentials like groceries, medical care, and education. Shipping goods to remote communities drives up prices and limits variety, making everyday necessities harder to come by. Social isolation can take a toll on mental health, especially during the long winter months when travel becomes even more difficult. For newcomers or those used to urban living, the sense of being cut off from friends, family, and cultural hubs can be a major deterrent to settling in Alaska permanently. The state's beautiful wilderness comes with the price of solitude that not everyone is prepared to handle. Number 1. Brutal winters. Alaska's winters are infamous for their extreme cold and relentless severity, making them one of the biggest challenges of living in the state. In many regions, temperatures regularly plunge well below zero, sometimes reaching bone-chilling lows of -40 to -50 degrees Fahrenheit. This intense cold isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous, requiring residents to bundle up in multiple layers and prepare their homes and vehicles to withstand freezing conditions. The cold also causes frequent issues like frozen pipes, car troubles, and icy roads, which can make even simple errands a risky endeavor. For those not accustomed to such conditions, the biting cold can be overwhelming and difficult to endure for months on end. Adding to the challenge is Alaska's extreme variation in daylight during the winter months. In places above the Arctic Circle, the sun can disappear completely for weeks, resulting in a phenomenon known as polar night. Even in more populated areas, daylight hours can shrink to just a few per day. This lack of sunlight can lead to seasonal affective disorder (SAD), impacting mental health by causing feelings of depression, fatigue, and lethargy. The combination of bitter cold and darkness creates a harsh environment that requires not only physical preparedness, but also mental resilience, factors that often discourage many from wanting to live in Alaska year-round. Conclusion: Alaska is undeniably one of the most breathtaking places on Earth, with its majestic mountains, pristine wilderness, and unique way of life. But as we've seen today, the state's brutal winters, isolation, limited jobs, high costs, and lifestyle challenges make it a tough place to call home for many. It's a land that demands resilience, adaptability, and a deep appreciation for solitude and nature. So, what do you think? Would you brave Alaska's extremes for its unmatched beauty, or is it a place you'd rather admire from a distance? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more deep dives into life across America.